Hello guys, welcome to Ferdinand tutorial. In this video, I want to explain how to write your chapter 4. Now chapter 4 is also known as your result section. When writing your final year project, there are different chapters, and in this channel already I've explained how to write your chapter 1, which is your introductory chapter, your chapter 2, which is your literature review chapter, your chapter 3, which is your methodology chapter, and then now which is chapter 4, your research chapter. Now, chapter 4, as I said earlier, is your results section. Now, first off, what it does is that it answers questions to, your research. It answers your research questions. It provides answers to the research question. Now, generally, what it means is that it directly answers the research question you've listed in chapter 1. If you've watched that chapter 1 video that I've uploaded, it's already linked in the description. If you've not watched it, you can watch it via there. Now, I was explaining what is meant by research question. Now, in every research, there's what we call research question. And your research question, you must answer it in the course of writing this project work. So it is in this particular section that you directly answer the research question. Now, each research question is repeated as a subheading. You don't just write it scattered. You repeat it as a subheading. And then under each, you present the specific results that answer that question. For instance, is, this particular dog fair or dark? Is a research question that you have. Now, in the course of your research, you will find that if that dog is fair or dark, you provide specific results to that question that you are asking. Don't go around the table, don't go around the whole place trying to explain. No, provide specific results because you've conducted an experiment. Because if you've not conducted an experiment, are you going to have results? No. And it doesn't necessarily mean that you must be in the lab to get this result. You can conduct survey, right? You can do other work that you can get result from. It doesn't mean that you must, do a first-hand work. You can do reviews to get your result, to get a specific result. Are we together now? Now, in your result section, is not the place where you interpret your work. Result is not expected for you to interpret. No, this section is not interpretation. It's just give us your result. State the fact, the figure that addresses that specific question. Now, let us use biochemistry department as a case study. Now, in biochemistry, suppose your topic was, effect of plant extract X. Let's say X is maybe pawpaw. Effects of pawpaw plant extract on liver enzyme activity in Wisterat. Now, we don't have a research questions yet, but I'm going to be, writing this chapter 4 as per, I've given you a research question already. So let's take, for instance, for this particular topic, our research question is, does plant extract, does pawpaw plant extract significantly alter ALT and AST? Now, what is ALT? ALT is, alanine amino, transferase. Are we there now? Good. Now, AST, aspartate amino transferase. Those are enzymes, that we use to check the functionality of the liver. Are we there? Represent the blood. Now, we look at, is the effect of pawpaw plant extract dose dependent? These are research questions. How does pawpaw plant extract compare with a standard drug? Now, these are questions that I'm going to be answering in my research results. That's my chapter 4. So then, with this particular research question, this is a topic, effect of plant extracts X, that's pawpaw plant extract on liver enzyme activity. Now, this is my topic. This is my research question. These 3 questions, they are my research questions. Now, how am I going to be answering them? Now, for the first question, which is, does pawpaw plant extract significantly alter, the ALT and AST levels in Wisterat? Now, I will say the result. What did I do? Now, this is the result of what I did. The results showed that treatment with plant extract X caused a significant decrease in, all this. This is my result. I will go straight to my result. I don't need to come and be explaining. When I conducted, I added 5 ml of this to get my ALT. I added 2 ml of this to get my AST. No. What was the result for that specific question? That's why before you start writing, in my chapter 1, I explained, before you start writing, you must have a research question. Now, the next thing for the research question number 2 is the effect of pawpaw plant extract dose dependent? Does it depend on dose? For us to see the effect, is it dose dependent? Look at the result there too. Data indicated, you put your data, the result of what you've done. You don't get this result from, the grave. You don't go to heaven to get them. You don't go into the space to get them. You conduct an experiment to get this result. Are you getting what we are doing? Now, to the third research question, the answer is, how does pawpaw plant extract compare with the standard drug? I will give, what I have. as my result. Now, also something that you should note while writing your chapter 4 is that under every research question, you must show your results that are specifically, tailored towards that question. Now, it helps your supervisor address your objectives. Don't go the whole place trying to explain everything. Give us the result and you rest, move on. It is an answer to your research question. Provide the result. Now, we also know what we call hypothesis. Now, this is a place where you also conclude which hypothesis your work, aligns to. Does it subscribe to the null hypothesis? Does it subscribe to the, alternative hypothesis? Now, we said that this section tests the hypothesis that you stated in your chapter 1 to see if they are supported or rejected by your result. Now, here you state the hypothesis again. Present your statistical test result. Now, before you, present your statistical test result, you must have conducted something. Now, you also conclude whether your hypothesis is accepted or rejected. Are we there now? Remember, I told you what we call H0 and H1. If you've not watched that chapter 1 video, you are not going to understand anything here. Go back and watch the chapter 1 for you to get everything I'm explaining, because I've explained all these hypotheses. Now, continuing our plant example. Now, suppose our hypothesis were for H0, pawpaw plant extract has no significant effect on ALT levels, and H1, pawpaw plant extract has significantly reduced ALT levels. Remember, I told you that null hypothesis is a negative hypothesis. H1, which is alternative hypothesis, is a positive hypothesis. When we're talking about negative statement, there's always no, not. Those are negative statements. Do you understand? I cannot do it. Not present there is a negative. So null hypothesis, which is H0, is what? A negative hypothesis because it has N or no. H1, which is what? Alternative, has a positive hypothesis. So note, every biochemistry project, you test for your hypothesis. Not just biochemistry, but every research work you're doing, you test for your what? Hypothesis. Most of the research work. That's the better word. Now, this section appears only if you've stated hypothesis in chapter 1. If you didn't state hypothesis in chapter 1, please do not state your hypothesis here. Are we there? Now, this is the hypothesis I'm testing for my hypothesis, and then I've looked at, my H0, plant extract has no significance. Remember, I told you that H0 is your negative hypothesis, right? No. And then at the end of the day, I will say an independent t-test showed a significant difference in ALT levels between control and treated groups. Therefore, the null hypothesis is rejected, and the alternative hypothesis, which is H1, is accepted, indicating that plant extract A significantly reduces ALT level. Remember, when I started, I said we go straight to the result. We're not jumping down the whole place. Are we together? Now this is go and give a major overview. Now, after you are done, you go to your summary of the findings. You give a major overview of your results. Brief, summary of your results. Don't go and start explaining. Don't introduce new data. More like, give a narrative summary, narrating, what your result looks like. Are we there? Now, at the end of the day, let's also use our biochemistry terms. Now, in summary of the findings, based off of what we've been doing, so the study demonstrated that plant extract X significantly reduced serum ALT and AST levels in Wister rat in a dose-dependent manner. The extract effect was comparable to the standard hepatoprotective drug, silymarin. Phytochemical screening revealed the presence of flavonoids and tannins, which may contribute to the observed activity. Statistical analysis confirmed the significant difference between experimental groups. Remember, this is a short narrative recap of the key results in your chapter 4. Don't go adding anything. So that is how to write your chapter 4 in your research project work. I know you find this video interesting and you got a value. I want you to give this video a thumbs up so that YouTube can recommend and subscribe to this channel. You see, I have to create a new slide for it. So give that channel a subscribe so that we can grow.